Hi guys, welcome back to the Wrestling Folks podcast. This is Jeevan Punk, Chris Rhodes, and Jazz Cena, and we welcome you to Terrific Thursdays with the Wrestling Folks.
Hey folks, you must have noticed that we were not there last week because last week all three of us were down with the sickness. But this week's only Chris Rhodes is not here because he is down with the sickness again. So take it away, Jeevan Punk.
It's a sad day today. Chris Rhodes is not here. We just had a fantastic AEW pay-per-view last night, and something that Chris and I talk a lot about it. So what we're gonna do today is gonna be very fun, guys. So our Jazz Cena, the great WWE fan that he is, does not know about AEW. So we are gonna just keep WWE aside for today a bit. We're gonna talk about it, not a lot, but a bit, and we're gonna brief our friend Jazz about AEW, what happened at Forbidden Door, and we're gonna tell him to please watch it weekly, watch Wednesday's Dynamite, and watch Saturday's Collision. So I'm gonna start with you. So, Jazz, do you know who Adam Copeland is?
Is a name I know something about, the rated R superstar.
Have you heard about Christian Cage?
Yes, I have heard about Christian Cage. Yes.
Great father Christian Cage. So I'm gonna tell you something. When Edge left AEW, when Edge left WWE in October 2023, he went to AEW and he used his name Adam Copeland. But he doesn't use that name again. He uses a new name, which is. And then we have a
Have to
great
cope with
patriarch,
this fact, right?
the greatest father of all time. We have Christian Cage. But Christian Cage has been betrayed by his family. Christian Cage and Cope went along with each other for a very long time. But since they are in AEW, they do not get along much. They hate each other. They do not like each other. But they had a common enemy. But the enemy was not common. But the problem was common. FDR is ruining Adam Copeland's or Cope's time in AEW. Whereas Kip Sabian and his friend Nick has destroyed the Patriarch's family, and Martha Wayne, or Shayna Wayne, if we want to call her, has taken over the ranch. But Nick Wayne is injured. So what did he do? He brought back the great dinosaur. He brought back our Jurassic Express's best part. He brought back our Luchasaurus. The match was great. Cope and Christian decided they'll get along with each other for once. For once, Cope and Cope will help Christian deal with the patriarchy or the disillusioned patriarchy of Nick Wayne, Luchasaurus, and Kip Sabian. And Christian Cage will help Cope deal with FTR. This is not the Edge and Christian of 2000s. This is not Edge and Christian of 2011 when Edge helped Christian to get the World Heavyweight Championship. These guys do not get along, but they have something in common, and that they have is passion and hate towards their opponents. And that's what we saw. We saw Luchasaurus returns after a very long time. If you haven't seen Luchasaurus, you'll see he's fantastic. Like I said, he's fantastic. He's a living dinosaur. And you believe it. You'll believe it. I'm telling you. But you will.
I will.
We still have a lot to talk about. FTR is still there at All Out. Probably next pay-per-view of AEW, we'll see Christian Cage and Cope versus FTR. The Living Legends, FTR. It's going to be a fantastic bout about greatest pro wrestlers of all time and my personal favorite tag team of all time. That's just not it. We also saw something. We saw Fletcher versus Takahashi. We know Kyle Fletcher. Have you seen Randy Orton in his prime?
Yes, course.
Have you heard about Will Ospreay?
Yes, I have. And I have
Just
seen
think
a
of
little
them
bit of
as a
him too.
combination and think of Kyle Fletcher.
Oh, damn.
Kyle Fletcher is legend. He's amazing. He's fantastic. He's athletic. He's shredded. He's passionate. He has Don Callis with him. That's fine, but he's the he's the TNT champion right now.
Amazing.
And that's what we saw with him facing against Takahashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Nothing about story here. It's just Hiromi Takahashi is one of the best baby faces in New Japan, and he's facing the one of the upcoming biggest heels in pro wrestling, or one of the biggest new superstar of pro wrestlers in the industry of Kyle Fletcher. One of the best matches you can see in pro wrestling. If you want to see the best pro wrestling, AEW is your place. If you want to see fantastic matches, fantastic athleticism, you will watch AEW and you will love it, my friend. But as we were discussing, I want to tell you something about it. Do you know what Forbidden Door is about?
I am assuming it is a door to some place that is forbidden.
You know what's forbidden? Two companies took working together. For the longest time, two pro wrestling companies never worked with each other. WWE had the monopoly. AEW came in and said, no, we will work with New Japan. We will work with Stardom. We will work with AAA before WWE bought AAA. We will work with CMLL, and that's what they did. So Forbidden Door is a pay-per-view when you have these four companies, Stardom, New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, and AEW working together for a common pay-per-view. And where was this match headed in? O2 in the UK.
Amazing. Yeah. O2 Arena is a sporting classic, right?
The audience cheered where the first All-In happened with 80,000 people. 80,000 people in Wembley. So it was one of the best matches of all time, or one of the best venues of all time.
And just to add a simile with Marvel, what I'm feeling here is a lot of up-and-coming superheroes are trying to form a new Avengers team against this big, bad, dark, depressed guy like WWE. That is very, very interesting. It's the fight against Monopoly. And this is where you get the revenge.
It is the fight against the monopoly, and that is where AEW wins. They have brought in competition. They have brought in new talent. They have brought in passion back in pro wrestling. They have brought passion back in me for pro wrestling. The reason I'm here with you is because of AEW, but we'll continue with the pay-per-view because this is not about me. You know what this is about? This is about the TBS Championship.
Yes.
Mercedes Moné faced against four other people. Bozilla, Alex Windsor, Persephone, and retained the TBS Championship. If our great Chris Rhodes was here, if he wasn't sick, if the fever hadn't caught him, what you know what he would have told you? He would have loved that match, but he would have loved if Mercedes Moné lost to Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor is the future of pro wrestling, and I'll see her. We also saw Bozilla for the first time in AEW. And you know what people are calling her the new Stephanie McMahon? Not because she's a great pro wrestler, because she might get caught up by WWE the way they caught up Stephanie McMahon in the previous Forbidden Door in 2024. So, maybe does that happen? But who knows? We don't know. Now I want to talk about something, my favorite thing, which happened last year. You know, Nigel McGuinness is one of the best UK wrestlers of all time. He had a great feud with Bryan Danielson in ROH in the early 2000s. He came back in 2024, wrestled few matches, also wrestled Bryan Danielson in the Great Slam. He also wrestled Bryan Danielson. You know what he did today? He wrestled Zack Sabre Jr. He faced against the current New Japan Pro Wrestler. He faced the current New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion, who's the greatest, one of the best technical wrestlers. Sorry, let me just rephrase it, okay?
Yes.
You know what happened?
I
The
don't.
oldest, the greatest technical wrestlers of our time, Nigel McGuinness, faced the current best technical wrestler of this time, Zack Sabre Jr. You know what Brian Danielson called this? Brian Danielson got this as Nobel laureate violence. This is a masterclass of technical wrestling. This
Amazing.
is something you would sit with a cigar or a whiskey and just watch. This is the great pro wrestling which I love.
Yeah, Brand Danielson is someone I have seen before and I know of. And if someone is fighting with this guy, with the level of technicality that I am getting from the tone of your voice, I mean, yeah, I have to watch AEW, man. I think it's time.
And you know what makes this match much better and what makes this whole pay per view better? Who was in commentary? The Brian Danielson. You know what Brian Danielson adds to the commentary? He talks about people he has wrestled. He's not an analyst. He's talking about them like he is gonna be in the ring with them. So that's what Brian Danielson adds to this. And him being a commentator in this match makes this match a 6-star match classic for me.
Amazing.
Next, what do we had? So I do not want to talk too much about it. Brodido, you know who Brodido is? The great Brody Lee, and our Mexican cowboy Bandido won the tag championship against FTR and the Hurt Business. You know what happened? Our bald king, our bald loser king came with his feud, our bald legendary shitty king came with his lackeys and made the Hurt Business lose their titles. Hurt Business did not lose their title clean. Ricochet came in and he said that he is mad about it because they made fun of him 8 months ago. I don't believe that shit.
Classic
You know,
Ricochet.
yeah, but you know who classic that is? It's MJF. It's MJF who paid off Ricochet for Hurt Business to lose their titles. But I don't care. I don't care because what is gonna happen? It's gonna be Bobby Lashley versus MJF. I'm gonna love that match. Good, big, meaty mid match. And Borodino is the new World Tag Team Champion. So that's fun. That is
Sounds
fun.
like a lot of fun.
You are talking about almost 6.5 feet meaty legend of Brody Lee with the high flyer of Bandido as tag champions. I'm gonna love this business again, buddy. No one's gonna beat that. Now, we saw something else. It was Okada versus Swerve. Okada came in from his bed with well sleep and he fought well. But I don't want to talk about the match much because I'm gonna rant about a bit more. You know, I talked about Don Callis. Don Callis' family has more than 8 members now. 8 members. And what did he need with more? Another one. Wardlow, who is an early AEW guy. He has only been in AEW. He hasn't been in WWE. He was the first lackey sort of for MJF. He had one of the best feuds of all time, or best babyface turns in AEW against CM Punk and MJF, and he turned on MJF. He has a very difficult career because he has had very injurious moments. He has been injured, came back, got injured, and then came back. The last we saw him, he was a babyface. Now he came back as a heel with Don Callis' family. Didn't make sense for me. I wish Chris was here, we would have talked about it with greater lengths. But let's see what happens. I see them turning him uh, and using him actually to create a rift in the Don Callis family and maybe tag him with Lance Archer. So let's see what happens. And the way it looks, Swerve's gonna be out for a few months. He has been dealing with sickness and he's been injured for a very long time. So he might take some time off and heal up with his buddy, Phil Ospreay. Coming down to Tony Storm versus Athena. You know me. I love Tony Storm. You also know me. I love Athena. Athena has been part of the whole AEW game for a very long time, and she's only been part of ROH often. ROH is a subsidiary of AEW now, which was supposed to be probably a primary brand, but now it's a subsidiary. She was the longest ROH champion. Toni Storm has been a great world champion for AEW, but if there is someone who should take over from her, that is Athena. She lost today, but I hope she wins next time because she should not be limited to ROH, just ROH. Now I want to talk about the MJF versus Paige match. So, Jazz, let me talk to you about MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman is a guy I have heard things about for a long period of time. I have heard him talking about John Cena. Jazz Cena has to talk about John Cena somehow. And the respect this guy has for wrestling in general. So yeah, I have been aware of his tweets and social media presence and snippets of his wrestling. But I definitely want to learn more about why he is the biggest name and the face banner bearer of AEW for such a long time. Take it away.
Let me tell you about it. MJF is one of the best speakers, one of the best orators, is one of the best wrestlers on the mic, and he's just not a wrestler with a mic. He's one of the best pro wrestlers of all time. If you want to, I've always talked about CM Punk versus MJF as a feud is my favorite feud. CM Punk versus MJF versus Kenny Omega at Collision is one of my favorite matches. MJF versus Chris Jericho is one of the best feuds AEW has had. MJF versus Adam Cole is one of the best feuds AEW has had. So MJF is he's not unfamiliar to the main event, and that's what we saw. Him facing with the ace of AEW right now, Hangman Adam Page, was the best decision, and the whole build-up for the feud has been fantastic, and I don't think it's over. So it's gonna be fun how we see and what's happened. What I want now is I want you to see these shows. I don't want to talk about the wrestling. I want to tell you briefly what would happen. So the next week you see, you'll realize how good these guys are.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the lights out match. We have the Ops, we have Swerve, we have Ospreay. Okay. Let's talk about the lights out match. We have Ospreay, we have Darby, we have Tanahashi, we have Omega, we have Ibushi versus the weird Jon Moxley and his lackeys. I don't want to even name them, I'm bored. But I want to talk about the match. Claudio Castagnoli. I miss him. So every time he listens, I enjoy the shit out of it. And Kota Ibushi is back after such a long time. I missed him, dude. I miss Kota Ibushi. I miss Kenny Omega together. I miss my Golden Lovers. That's something else we need to talk about one day. Who are the Golden Lovers? And
Something else we need to talk about one day. Who are the Golden Lovers? This is a plug-in. We have an upcoming series where we will be talking about legendary wrestlers, up-and-coming wrestlers, and some legendary duos and feuds. KYC is coming for wrestling. Know your character, wrestling. And that is where we will definitely be talking about the Golden Lovers. That's what the name is, right? Golden Lovers. That is spicy. We will be talking about the Golden Lovers. Yeah, and the love that they share and they give and receive. That's a friend joke for you guys. So yeah, take it away, Punk.
So we saw a new Japanese cage that they had built. It was shorter in height, bigger in width, had ample amount of space for 5 wrestlers from each team to fight each other in a non-sanctioned match. It was brutal, it was killing, it was fun, and it was everything that I expected. And the best part about was that it was the last match Tanahashi was gonna have in UK, and he won that match.
Amazing.
He got the pin,
Amazing.
and it was one of the best moments. It was great. It is how grateful AEW is of its legends. That's how it treats them. So the Ace of New Japan got the pin for the AEWT. But the match wasn't over until it was over, and we saw Will Ospreay get brutally beaten up by Jon Moxley and his lackeys, which confirms that Will Ospreay is going for a long leave as he needs to get neck surgery. It's a bit sad, but we have to wait and see. I spoke to Chris sometimes back, and he told me he didn't like how brutally they killed or butchered Will Ospreay. But I think it was justified. It is just to more and more build up Will Ospreay as a babyface once he's back after his injuries. So this was it for AEW Forbidden Door. It closed a lot of the stories and started some new ones, as we saw Ops trying to help out Will Ospreay, and Ops are gonna be coming for Moxley and his team. We're gonna see Wardlow face against Swerve at some point and be with Don Callis' family. We might also see Takeshita return and turn on Don Callis' family and Kyle Fletcher. There is a lot of doors opening up, but we should close this door and open a new door for WWE. Take it over, Jazz Cena.
Oh yeah, WWE. Weird times recently. It's been not a slump, not a rise, just a flat line. Very slow figures of heartbeat, some interesting things happening, but nothing monumental that we expect when reaching for Paris when being in Europe. Some of the best wrestling audiences as we saw in AEW in the O2 Arena. The way we saw it in Dublin, Ireland. R-Truth was mistaken, he went to Dublin in USA, but the Irish Dublin audience, man, whatever Becky Lynch says, the audience was fantastic. But the audience is enjoying what it is getting, I think. It's not getting what it deserves as a European audience. Clash in Paris is coming. It's time for croissants. But what we are getting is mediocre hot chocolate and croissants. And that doesn't really sell it nicely in Europe. Do whatever you want to do in USA, but Europe deserves better than this. Ireland deserves better than this. UK deserves better than this. And us as audience also deserve some interesting spikes. But one interesting thing that is happening is that Becky Lynch, from just a whiny, bitchy kind of heel, is now turning into a more classical sort of old-fashioned heel. Shitting on the people, enjoying what she is saying, actually believing in what she is saying, and just having fun against the people she calls her own in Ireland. So that was a fascinating segment. What do you think, Mr. Punk? Are you seeing a classical heel turn, or is it just a small phase and it will revert back to bitchy heel Lynch?
I think yes. Lynch is firmly a heel now. She's fueling feuds up with someone like Nikki Bella, heading into Clash into Paris, and her promo targeting late Ozzy Osbourne, saying the only good thing that came out of Birmingham died a month ago, that drew some backlash, just doing some heel stuff. Does that work? I don't think so at all times, but it is something that we have to see. Coming to the other point that you mentioned, WWE being stale. WWE is stale right now. Every week you see the same thing. It's Seth Rollins coming
Yes.
Team division. CM Punk coming in, Jey Uso coming in, LA Knight coming in,
Yeah.
and the same
Yes.
as well. It's boring. And they are taking their audience for granted. That is why you see all of them just being there and
Exactly.
doing nothing.
That's boring. And they're taking the audience for granted. That is why we see all of them just being there and doing nothing. And so that brings me to the point about Logan Paul. Honestly, that same stale thing of this guy just talking shit, ridiculous shit, man. I'm sorry I had to cut you off a little
I
bit because I'm
agree.
so
I
frustrated about
agree.
Logan Paul.
The fact that we are wasting 4 or 3 John Cena appearances for Logan makes me sick. Fucking sick.
And it's probably making John Cena himself sick as well. That is why he was pointing out in his brilliant monologue. That was a spark in the overall shitty, boring scene.
The old John Cena felt like he was back.
So that's like, this guy himself is bored. He's taking names of people like Dominic Mysterio. He's taking names of people like the phenomenal AJ Styles. And he said that instead of shooting with these guys, I'm wasting my time on you, bloody Logan Paul. He was the voice of the people that we wanted back for such a long time. And John Cena was talking what we wanted him talking about. That Logan Paul doesn't really cut it. Why the hell are we gonna see Logan Paul fighting him? He is for the TikTok kids. I mean, fuck that. He's only ideal because he's human in real
He is
life.
only ideal because he is a heel in real
Exactly.
life.
And that podcast is somehow
That's the
working
reason.
because I don't know what the edgelord teenagers like to watch these days. I don't know exactly. It's bad. It's rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. It's garbage. And it's just not that. I want to come to something like Solo versus Sammy. Solo versus Sammy is a good feud to have, but it is wasted of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn should be world title mix right now. He should be someone who is facing John Cena. He should have
Exactly.
beaten John Cena, to be honest.
Oh,
Sami
absolutely.
Zayn is one of the best baby faces WWE has.
Yes.
And what are you wasting him on, Solo Sikoa? And one thing I want to talk about, right? These guys in the US chanted, "You can't wrestle," at JC Mateo, Jeff Cobb, and Jeff Cobb. You ruined Jeff Cobb. You ruined Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb. He is. He might be old now, but he's one of the best wrestlers of all time. Fired Braun Strowman. You fired Braun Strowman, alright? You would have used Braun Strowman as a stepping stone for Jeff Cobb, like you did for Bronson Reed, like you did for Jacob Fatu. But what did you do? You fired him. You don't have any big guys apart from Omos. Omos, you won't let him in WWE. You'll just let him come in AEW or Noah as a show off. That's it. Let me have my JC Mateo as one of the best pro wrestlers and let me see him wrestle with the best pro wrestlers. Let him go against Rey Phoenix, let him go against Andrade, let him go against Fatu properly, and I mean properly. Let him go against Sami Zayn properly, without the MFT interrupting.
Yeah, let him fight with Dominic Mysterio even. That will be a fantastic match.
A heel curling JC Mateo would be so fun. Yeah, so that is what I've been telling you, man. Sorry for the cutoff. Something malfunction happened. I'm sorry about it. My camera's
WWE.
passion. Yeah, exactly like WWE. Look at. Have you seen me this irritated? Have you seen me like this? I am the calm guy in this.
Exactly. This guy is only like this when Brock Lesnar is mentioned, and it is well deserved. But this mode coming out for everything and frustrated like this, like they're misusing Tiffy time, man. You know, Tiffy is Tiffy.
You know, Tiffy is. Where is Tiffy? Let's have a search operation for Tiffy. Where is she?
Where is she? Why the fuck is she existing only in fillers and segments? What the hell? She is your world champion, man. Why is she not fighting? She is capable. She is amazing in the ring. She is amazing on the mic. Why are we not seeing her with the mic inside the ring with all her action? Why are we seeing only outside the ring with small snippets of chatting? Like, I know the match in Paris Tiffy will kill it, but we need something before that. We're getting filler matches of LA Knight with Braun Breaker 1 week before the clash in Paris. Why can't we get it for Tiffy? How bloody difficult is that?
She doesn't need to have filler matches. She needs to have it. She needs to be in proper feuds. She is your world champion.
At this point of time, I mean, let her fight John Cena for all I care. It will be better than Logan Paul. Exactly.
Exactly.
What the hell?
Exactly.
But-
And
but
coming
yeah,
down. And coming down, there's just something you won't like. I do not like the R-Truth segment.
I did not like it either. We finally got Ron Killings, and we finally had the guy behind R-Truth coming out. We got snips of Ron Killings. We need Ron Killings. R-Truth is amazing, but Ron Killings is a killer. You know what makes me sick?
You know what makes me sick? There was more outrage about R-Truth being fired than Brock Lesnar returning.
Exactly. It makes me sick as well. I mean, we have been watching this company since we were children. We have seen many troubled faces of this company, but now it's not 2010, it's not 2000, it's not the 1990s, it's 2025. And it's a reflection of the whole of American society that in 2025 shit like this is happening. Because in a world where ICE is just taking away people, why does Lesnar matter? Lesnar coming to WWE will not be a surprise. Should be a surprise, right?
For me, it's the same thing. More things change, more they remain the same.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a bloody loop. But there is one good thing that happened last week. Among all the rants, there was a good match. I know we touched about the unfairness of the match some time back, but by itself, in the spirit of what happened in the ring, Sammy versus Solo was a good match. It was good to watch. The two showed their prowess. Sammy showed his in-ring athleticism brilliantly. Solo showed a side of him that we have not seen for a while. The Street Fighter side, because he was fighting someone of the caliber of Sami Zayn. So yeah, good for Solo. Decent for Sammy. But a good match nonetheless. If they actually developed Solo the way they developed the Tribal Chief, the OTC in the past, I can see this feud becoming something hot in, say, half a year on an year. But then they have to do a lot of good work with Solo, and they have not done good work with Solo at all. They have been very unfair to him as well with his quality.
So let's talk about Raw, which was the same as last week. Nothing new happened. So we have a match: Roman versus Reed. Shula Thala. You know, Roman was world champion for 3 years. 3 years. One of the best ever. And now he's fighting for his shoes.
One nice thing about this promo that he cut yesterday, though, when we record this, it was yesterday, is that he was acknowledging a few things. One thing he acknowledged, which is very off note, is that he is not the same guy that he was before. He is different. He is more hungry. And the match is not about Shu. Yeah, exactly. And then I will say it's fucking ridiculous. It is that he's saying that he is hungrier. The match with Shula Fala is not about shoes, it's about the disrespect. But then suddenly, ladies and gentlemen arrives. He says that because he loves the guy, he's gonna have to give him tough love in form of the tribal chief. I mean, yeah, I hear the words, but I don't feel them. What I felt though was the crowd in Birmingham acknowledging the tribal chief. But again, I feel bad for the crowd. I feel bad for us, that the OTC that we know and deserve 3 years, 1050 days or something, right? The reign of Roman Reigns. And now he's reduced to this. It's saddening. I will still give this a little bit of a benefit of doubt because this guy had to go off because of his health issues and then come back again. But he's hungry to fight this year. Next year, he says. He has planned for the next 1.5 years. I hope the story improves. I hope the plans are actually solid and not just coming out of the asses and at the creatives of WWE. But I will still give this segment a little bit of a benefit of a doubt. Okay, it's fine. But just like how long will it take for us to see this guy at his best? There's another guy who has been tossed to the sidelines, playing match after match after match, week after week. He's a legend. This guy doesn't fear anything. His name is Penta, and I will give the mic to Jeevan Punk to talk about Penta because he has known him for a very long time. But why is he not getting any push? Tell us, Punk. I mean, yeah, we are talking ridiculousness of WWE today. That's what we are doing.
Came in,
Penta.
a smooth operator, is doing nothing much. He should be facing Seth instead of Punk. Yeah, that is my controversial opinion. We should push Penta as a main event caliber and
Absolutely.
let him wrestle Seth freaking Rollins, but we won't. We won't. Why? Because for some reason. I don't even know.
I will be controversial and say because probably WWE with their current alignment with the government are taking him as a DEI hire. But if that is the case, they should just fire him and let him go to better pastures and best.
Because that is where he came in. He got released. He wanted his release from AEW so he could come in WWE. I'm pretty sure that he is happy and he's doing well personally. But I don't think that is the best usage of him as a wrestler.
Yeah, it's time. He has done enough as a jobber. I will call him a jobber. He's doing it day in and day out, fighting high quality, high intensity games every appearance, and he's making an appearance every week. So yeah, this guy has done enough jobbing. Now it's time for the main event push. It's enough. What is also enough is Rhea Ripley's reluctance to go for the title. I mean, I love what is happening between Rhea Ripley and the crazy lady. But yeah, the bromance is beautiful to watch. Io Sky, lovely. Just let them have a kiss already and make them have a great match for the title.
I enjoy what they are doing. And I enjoy the slowish heel turn the Kabuki Warriors are having. So that's something that I actually... Something which I'm very mad about is the Judgment Day and Dirty Dom and AJ Styles. You know, AJ Styles and Finn Balor had a 7 to 10 minutes match. And what did they do? Nothing. The former Bullet Club leaders did nothing. Just close legs. There's nothing is worth it. Nothing's worth it.
Basically, in the commentary, they themselves were saying that this was the kind of match that would happen in PLEs, that will happen in pay-per-views, that will happen in main events now. And now Birmingham, one random Raw match. Sorry, repeat. Basically, in the commentary, they themselves were saying that this is the kind of match that would happen in PLEs in the past, but now, or in pay-per-views, happen in main events, but now Birmingham, one random Raw match. People can just watch these two legends play with each other. And I will call it play with each other because they definitely are not fighting for anything. So it was just a play. And it was not even a good play like Hamilton that is happening in the UK right now. It was a boring ass play. So yeah, it's not fun. It's not interesting. This needs to, like in today's discussion of WWE, we have pointed out at least 8 or 9 things that need to be better. And they can easily be better. Right? Man, it can easily be better. I hope Paris brings something interesting because Paris is a city that changes things, that brings good flavors to stuff. I hope there is some French delicacies that introduce to the stale British food that has been WWE for the last 3-4 weeks.
I agree.
Main event Jey Uso. A small interesting segment with our tribal chief where tribal chief was basically reminding Uso who he is. Why does he even have to depend on Punk or depend on LA Knight and be wary of them when fighting? Why is that the case? I'm forgetting the names of good wrestlers because it's been very boring. What was the name of this guy he's been fighting? Yeah, Seth Rollins. Exactly. Why does he have to be worried about them when he's been doing day in, day out for 20 years? He has, OTC acknowledged Jey Uso's importance in his own long reign, and I liked that snippet. I liked that 30-40 second segment a lot, which basically also feels like they're trying to groom him into a tribal heir. Or is it just conditioning that Roman Reigns is doing again to get his bloodline back? That is an interesting slow burn that was introduced today. If it culminates into something interesting over the next few months, it will be fun to watch. It can be fun to watch. But for that, Jey Uso really needs the proper push. Not just as a face. He has been getting an immense face push, but a quality wrestling face push with quality wrestlers, with quality one-on-one matches. The way he used to get for tag team or as the bloodline. So yeah, I hope that this whole grooming or conditioning part when he was fighting with...
I hope they did this whole grooming or conditioning part when he was fighting Gunther at WrestleMania. It had been much more interesting. And what can we say?
It would have been much more interesting, yeah. So WWE not green pastures at all. It has been dry brown grass for some time. Hopefully Paris will behave like they behave these days and not like they behaved in World War II and just gave up. Let's see Sunday clash in Paris. Let's see Sunday's clash in Paris, SmackDown. Before that, something interesting actually happens. But yeah, even Punk. But yeah, Jeevan Punk, AEW has been rising, WWE has been falling. The anti-capitalist sinners must be very happy right now, right?
They sure are. They sure are. And you said that big chance that WWE gets their turn after Clash in Paris. I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I doubt it. The next pay-per-view is WrestlePalooza, and it's probably gonna be John Cena and Brock Lesnar. So, not fun, not interested.
That is one match in this retirement tour that I'll probably end up not watching, just out of principle. I'm sorry. I think we are on the same page on that in this podcast, that we don't endorse people who we have seen enough proof against that they are probably rapist. So yeah, not convicted yet, but even Trump is pardoned. Even Trump is pardoned.
Rapists, not rapists, sex traffickers.
So yeah, sorry. In this podcast, we do not endorse people who are alleged sex traffickers and enough proof is being shown. People who are colluding with Vince McMahon, straightforward. Nah, hell no. It's not done, not good. Grey pastures in WWE, green pastures in AEW. No sliding into the frame today because I'm already here. I'm not wasted today, guys. Our poor guy Chris Rhodes is still wasted because he is sick. Hopefully he'll be back next week and AEW talk will be like usual. I will also not be wasted next week probably. I'm excited to watch it after today's talk. Let's look for that. Punk will absolutely love that. I'm also hoping whatever happens, I want the Fatal 4-Way match on Sunday to be a good one. This is one match that I want badly to be a good one because it's the only match I'm seeing that has potential. The Cena fan in me also wants the Logan vs Cena match to be a good one. It might even turn out to be a good in-ring match. Let's be honest. But the build-up, the amount of time wasted on it, it's just not it. So yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yes.
Yeah, it should have been AJ Styles versus Cena in Paris. Imagine a camera shaking thing that happened there. I mean, yeah, that would have been amazing. We will probably have to write a fanfiction story about it. And narrate it to you guys in the next episode.
I think we will make good.
Yeah. So I guess
fantasy
that's
booking
it
of
for
John
today.
Cena's retirement in WWE. So yeah.
But yeah,
So I guess that for today. We'll see you guys next week with Jack Cena. Hopefully Chris Rhodes is better. And I am closing out G1 Punk. Show.
OBS. Good show.
Good show. Good show.
Very good show. Dude.
Ofni servet. Zeta gefällt mir Robina. Ani sajna. Storm sir. Knap nu ist es. Das hat auch so viel servet haben wir glauben. Ja, ja.